Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay Hoffman and welcome to the Dose of Bliss show where I invite some amazing people to give you their doses of bliss to live your best life. Today I am so excited to have here, we have Xixi Yang. She's a TV host and the founder of XYZ Media. I'm so happy to have you here.
Woo! Thanks for having me, Lindsay.
I know.
This set is so cute.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. And look, you even have your very own cups.
Oh,
how special is this, right? I'm so proud of you, girl.
Xixi and I have known each other for like 7 years.
Yes, we're both 5 years old.
Wink, wink. We worked on the red carpet together. And that's what I wanted to start with. Can you let everyone know, like, how'd you get your start? She's a TV host, a co-founder. What's your story?
Oh my goodness. So I was going to school at UCLA and I knew that I really wanted to get into TV hosting because you couldn't get me to shut up. You know, I talk so much. I talk all my family members' ears off. And I figured like, okay, you know, what better of a job than to like be on the red carpet, talk to some of the most famous people in the world and get paid while doing it, right? Unfortunately, when I first started, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to really work at like a big network because I didn't have the experience. But I thought to myself, how am I supposed to be more experienced if I wasn't given an opportunity? So I was really courageous as a kid. I was really ballsy and I thought, you know, why not just give myself the shot, right? If the opportunity is not knocking on the door, you got to build the door first. I remember saving up $300, buying like a super affordable, like Sony handheld camera and a karaoke mic because, you know, the real microphones aren't very
Karaoke. Wait, you started with a karaoke mic.
Yes, yeah. And I remember I went around Hollywood and started interviewing everyone and anyone I could get my hands on. The first red carpet premiere I covered was actually Disney's Secretariat premiere. And you know this because we've been doing red carpets for a long time. Back then, red carpets were so exclusive and hard to get on. It's like this short press line. You have your major companies like CNN, Associated Press, Access Hollywood, Extra, E, and then some of the online networks. There was little old me standing at the very end of the red carpet, standing there shooting myself. Okay, we're talking like I had to step behind the camera whenever a celebrity came by. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Let me press play. Let me press record.
Let me make sure this thing's on, and then immediately hop in front of it. So God bless all the amazing celebrities who wanted to give me a shot that night.
It's true, but you don't know until you try,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I want our topic to be about is making your own opportunities because, you know, we were talking about this before, the new quote, you know, make your dream work for you, don't work for the dream. And that's something you do. I mean, you work with CNN, I've seen you with E, HLN. I mean, you've been everywhere and you've created it yourself.
I really did. You know, the biggest misconception that anyone has going into this industry or just having a career that they really want to do is that they want to sit at home and wait to be selected. Nowadays, with the power of social media, you don't have to do that. You can get started right now. I mean, even you with this show, creating this incredibly inspirational and motivational content, you can get started without waiting for someone to actually give you a shot.
Exactly.
And that's what I realized like 10 years ago before this whole YouTube scene blew up, the whole like .coms and blogs. And I have had to learn every step of the way. You know, I graduated from UCLA with a degree in journalism, communications. I didn't have a degree in business. So in the beginning, when I was doing all these interviews, I was like, okay, I'm having a lot of fun doing it, but how can I actually turn my passion into a paycheck, right? Because I want to be able to pay bills with this.
Yes.
I don't want to have to cancel on interviews because I have to like work as a waitress or even do background work, which I did all that when I first moved to LA. So I've had to learn every step of the way, how to form an actual LLC, how to hire people, how to fire people who are,
That's the hard part.
you know, being shady or stealing your contacts, don't have your company's best interest at heart. And if it weren't for all those experiences, if I didn't learn all levels of the operation, I wouldn't be where I am today.
So when you're working there, has anyone told you no? How do you fight through
gosh.
that? Because that happens. So a lot of people get sent back.
My motto is if you're not getting rejected on the daily, you're not reaching high enough.
I love that.
Yes, and you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and convince other people, no one else will believe in you.
How did you get to that point? Because were there times you doubted yourself? Because I feel like that's a mindset you have to fight. Like everyone doubts their self every day, unless for maybe Xixi doesn't.
I do doubt myself all the time. I'm human, and we're all made out of skin and flesh and blood. And when I first started my career, I remember printing out so many different headshots, so many resumes, sending them to all kinds of networks, and no one wanted to hire me. I couldn't tell you how many auditions I went on, how many meetings I've had with like different networks. I remember 10 years ago, I came up with like an idea for a little online show focusing on social media news. And I had a huge meeting with this network that I won't mention, but I remember what the director said to me.
What did they say?
He was like, we like you. You don't have that much experience, but we don't really see potential in a show surrounding social media.
That's
because
crazy.
That's a fad. It might not be here next year. And look at where we
Yeah.
are. So that's the secret that I learned about Hollywood, about human nature in general. No one knows what's going to be the next big thing. No one really knows what's going to be hot. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that your product is worth it and keep pushing through all the noise in the marketplace.
Even if people say no. And when you
Yes.
left, what was your thought when he told you no? Were you like, no, I'm going to keep going?
I was
or did you think
discouraged.
negatively?
I was really discouraged, and I thought, maybe they're right. Maybe this project really isn't going to go anywhere. And I stopped making those shows. And I kind of regret stopping that project because I knew if I continued back then, it would have been a big hit now.
That's true. But
So-
I like how you say that, though, because you see you now and you're so successful. And when you see someone on their trajectory, you don't realize that sometimes people get discouraged and they stop what they're doing. But just because you stop that, it did not stop you from your success. You're
Yes.
still going. You're
Yeah.
creating a new social show pretty much now.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So how did you step yourself out of that and keep going? Some people just give up and they're like, oh, I can just get a regular corporate job.
Yeah. I knew that I would never truly be happy with a regular corporate job because I have the personality where I really want to make a difference, whether it is creating entertainment content or content that resonates with the millennial social generation. I wanted to do something new, right? And I remember the first time that I was in front of the camera interviewing people, I've never felt more alive my whole life. So I knew that I had to keep pushing to turn my dream into a reality. And consistency really is the key, right? People think the line to success or the map of success is like you keep going up, but that's not
It's
true.
like that thing.
It's
Everyone's
like
seen it on
up,
Facebook.
down,
Yeah, it's
up,
a squiggle.
Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Some days you might be up, other days you're down, but as long as you keep pushing, as long as you stay on the same track, you're going to end up somewhere.
Exactly. And that's why I had to have you on the show, because I thought that the moment I saw you, like day one, Xixi had her own show on the red carpet. You did.
I really did. I didn't know what I was doing back then.
You did, but you were so confident.
We did it, right?
Your confidence.
Yes, girl.
Thank you. No, your confidence always inspired me, because you'd be on that carpet and you'd just start talking just how you are right now, like you own the show. And I always wondered, how do I be like Xixi? How do I be that? Every time I doubt myself, I look at your Instagram and see that you're
so
I really do this.
sweet.
You guys have to look at it. We're gonna show it on the screen throughout this and everywhere. But I look at your Instagram and I think, wait, I have to keep going for what I want, because Xixi never stops going for what she wants.
Nope. And it's hard. And a lot of the times we give up, not because our goal isn't attainable, but because we really underestimated how much work it takes to get from point A to point B. So think about that, right? Let's say if you are a runner and you're running the marathon, it's not the finishing line that's the problem, because when you're doing the marathon, you have to finish. Whether you walk across that line or run across or sprint across, you have to get to the finishing line. What we do in life is oftentimes we see that the finishing line is so far ahead, too far ahead, that we start like lowering the quota. We lower the goal, but the goal itself is not the problem. The problem is that we really underestimated how much work it takes to get from here to here.
Exactly. And I was looking on your blog and it made me think about something I felt within myself and other people do, is we set timelines for ourselves.
Yes.
And I think a reason people do that, because it's a great thing to do. You want to set a time for a goal. But what if we don't hit that timeline? You think by the time you're 30, you're going to be like a billionaire when you're 5,
Didn't we all think that?
You
I
got
thought by
something.
the time I'm 25, I was going to have 5 network shows. I was going to buy a huge mansion with a 4-door garage. and have like 2 Lamborghinis. I mean, but that's not reality. The beauty of life is sometimes the best things happen to us when we didn't plan for it.
Exactly.
Right? You just have to stay consistent and keep pushing for your dream to happen.
So do you have like an example of when like you thought maybe by this age I'd be doing something and you weren't doing something exactly at that time frame?
Absolutely. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine about this last week. I always thought, I didn't know that social media was going to be so big. If you were to tell me today that, most of the opportunities would come to me, even like interviews, because they see my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I would have been like, what do you mean? And when I got started, I wanted to be a television host. I didn't know what it was like to be like a web host. That was something that was so unheard of. But now we're really living the social generation. Nowadays, it's all about having instant access to news, connecting with people from all walks of life, different people from different countries, having that instant social connection. So I always thought I would, be like a product of a network and, work for that network for the rest of my life. But my path has been really different. In addition to working for CNN HLN, doing a lot of entertainment reporting, contributing for Warner Media, I launched my new show, which is Instapop with Xixi Yang, because I see how valuable it is to have a type of show that delivers pop culture, entertainment, a lot of exclusive news for the social generation in like a very bite-sized format. People aren't waiting for 7 or 11 p.m. to get their daily dose of news.
Who
now, when you
watches
hear
TV?
something, now, when you hear something, you Google it and you find out exactly what's happening right there and then, that instantaneous type of news.
And there's not too many people getting news from social media yet. They, the outlets are putting their news on Instagram and different places, but people aren't searching for it yet because there's not an actual news show that's on it like yours, which is really exciting. And that, what's funny is it's a full circle moment because imagine if that network would have taken your pitch on social media. Would you have created your own show now?
Probably not. Probably not, because as many of you guys know, working with a major network, sometimes your idea just gets lost in the shuffle. It's not necessarily because it's a bad idea, but just because of, there wasn't the right team behind it.
So that's why sometimes you think something's going to be, and when did you pitch that? How long ago? Like how old were you in
2009?
So that was 2009.
Yeah.
It's now
and Twitter is not a fad. Twitter and social media are still around, live and well.
But that's crazy because you wanted to achieve that in 2009, and it took 10 years for it to actually manifest, but manifest in a better way. So that just shows you don't always hit your timeline exactly when you think, but you kind of did because now you're working with all these networks. You're having your own thing. You're at the point where you want to be. Exactly.
Oh
I saw your eyes light up. Like you actually
Lindsay,
did
you're
reach.
So right. I did.
In your own way.
It's a full circle moment.
Yeah, exactly. And you think you have to go to college, get a job, and do it traditional way. And this is something I deal with too. And then you're not doing the traditional path that you thought. So it's like for me at least, it's an inner battle. Like, what am I doing with my life? And anyone else looks at you and say, wow, you're doing awesome things, but it's not what you were trained to think you were going to do.
Yes, absolutely. There is no blueprint to success. No matter what industry you work in right now or you want to work in, get a job in, there is no blueprint. But what I can say is thanks to social media and internet and everything in the digital world, all these movements happening, you don't have to wait for someone to give you a chance. You can put yourself on. Don't wait for someone to put you on.
Yeah, I mean, you need to give yourself a chance.
Yes.
So we only have a few minutes left. What is the biggest thing you want to leave people with?
I want to leave people with the fact that there really is no reason nowadays that you have to sacrifice your happiness, what you actually want to do to have a fulfilling life. Because with all the tools that we're given, social media, internet, you can create the type of life that you want. You just need to be courageous enough to believe in yourself and have enough patience and consistency to see it through. And that's the hardest part.
And that's how you do it, though. And so Can you tell everybody a little bit more of where they can find you and when Instapop is coming out?
Sure. So Instapop is going to be the first channel launching under our new company, XYZ Media. And you can check out Instapop by following our Instagram page at Instapop Show. Follow me at XIXIYANG, Xixi Yang, and keep updated on everything on my website, xixiyang.com.
I know I'll be. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to tune into all of the Dose of Blisses and binge them, you can find them on the EverTalk TV app. I also put them every Thursday on my YouTube channel at Lindsay B. Hoffman, and of course my blog, doseofbliss.com. Of course, my social is on the screen at Lindsay B. Hoffman. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Daily Dose of Bliss, and we'll see you next time. Bye!